You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. What is up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of the Hello Sport Podcast. Home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. We're back. What'd you drop?
Phone slipped off.
You're becoming a real liability with your phone. Like it's. I feel
Why?
like. Well, but what do you mean? You know that's the truth.
Yeah, but that was because it was old.
Well, no. What happened on the weekend?
Yeah, but that was because I forgot my charger.
Right. Well, what just happened then?
Listen, evidence may suggest that I am becoming a liability.
Mm.
I know in my heart of hearts that if I choose to turn things around, I can and will. Just like the Australian cricket team, Tom. We'll choose to turn it around.
Yeah.
You know? Did we want to keep things spicy? Did we
Great start.
Okay. 30 seconds in, punters and dribblers. Evie's on holidays, and as much as we all love Evie Rose, she's one of the great distractions all time. I'm not going to blame her. She's only 3. It's not her fault. Well, it is her fault. It's not her fault because she's not doing it intentionally, but it is her fault. I suppose if you stuff up, right, like let's say you make a mistake, you're not doing it on purpose, but you still make a mistake, it's still your fault, right? So it is Evie's fault.
But then how far back can you trace it back? Does it become Tom's fault?
It probably, listen, Tom bears responsibility. There's no doubt about that.
Dave makes a compelling point.
I'm prepared to halve responsibility 50-50. Tom and Evie. She's got to pick up her end of the slack.
75-25. So obviously I have like original sin given I am the father.
Yeah. Okay. What you want to bear the brunt with her?
What if I give her 50? Me and Steph 25 each.
I'll accept that. As long as responsibility's born. Is that a fucking term?
Well, listen, but the reality is that 75% of fault, not mine. So I'm going to step back.
Yep.
Just say it's not my fault.
Yep.
The majority of it is not my fault.
I just wanted to acknowledge that it's 0% my fault. 0%. Just want that on the public record, punters and dribblers.
Although you agreed to do a podcast with me, so technically you're bringing on some
That was before you had a kid.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Before you had a kid.
Doesn't matter.
Before you had a kid.
You chose to continue doing
0%. Well, I'm doing that as a favour. And listen, you're using up all your brownie points. Just know that. All used up.
I feel like I got a few more. Stashed away. Not many.
Not many. We're getting through them.
Yeah, I'm fucking chewing through them.
Getting through them.
Great to be here with you again, Eddie.
Always great to be here with you, Tom. It's a Monday, punters and dribblers. I will give you the lay of the land. Tom and I have just enjoyed ham and cheese toasties. We looked at each other and acknowledged that we could have gone a second each. I know that's gluttonous. I know it's Monday morning. I know that's making poor decisions. I know that we're on the train to Six Pack City. I get all that.
The train. There was an electrical fault.
Listen, the train has
signaling issue.
Listen, we are en route to Six Pack City. Know that we have been stuck in a particular station, gluttony station, for a little while, probably a while longer than we intended. But you can't get ripped without first getting big.
No, exactly. Can't get. Yeah, you got to bulk.
You got to bulk before you rip.
Yeah.
Even Josh would acknowledge that the first half of this year has been about building foundations.
Yep.
We're just putting footings in the ground. I don't even know if that's the right term. We're putting footings in the ground, and we're going to start building on top of them.
Yep. But you know, all journeys to Six Pack City obviously stop by Gluttony Crescent, and that's where we found ourselves. There was a signalling issue. They were doing track work, so we couldn't leave as early as we'd like.
No.
So we got ham and cheese toasties this morning, and let it be known, we both could have had a second one, but we didn't. So credit to us, obviously.
Credit to us where credit's due.
Off the rip, credit to us.
You know what that's missing? That ham and cheese toasty.
Pickle sauce?
Yes. Ham and cheese toasties should have pickle sauce on them if they know what's up. Now, I don't mind that ham and cheese toasty. It's pretty good, but it is missing pickle sauce.
Missing pickle sauce. It's not that hard. Whereas the cafe, just a little bit further down.
Who let us down?
Are out of ham and cheese toasties. Now, this is something that I need to this is something that I've only experienced since being in this studio and having that cafe across the road, and then another one a little bit further down. It's the first cafes I've ever seen where they go, we've run out of ham and cheese toasties. I'm like, it's not something it's just something you make. You tell me you're out of ham
and cheese.
and cheese
Because
and
that'll
bread.
keep. That'll keep.
You're a fucking cafe.
You don't need to replace it every day. Put that in the fridge.
You're a cafe. Don't run out of ham or cheese or bread.
I don't think they've run out of bread.
Of course I haven't.
Given that they sell it.
Yeah.
I think that this is an effort thing.
That's what I think. They just can't be fucked to make it. But to have both of them run out of, well, listen, the one that
I tell you what, if they've run out around the corner, that says something about potentially people in this area having big weekends. And they've flocked to the ham and cheese toasty like they're going out of fashion.
Mm.
They've never gone out of fashion, but you can imagine people flocking to them if
they were going out of fashion.
Yes.
Did you have a big weekend as well, though?
Yes.
Oh, did you?
I had a big Saturday night.
Yeah, so you just do any, like, you just rip regardless.
It
of
was
things being on.
it was actually, it caught me off guard a little bit.
For me, I've like got to have something on, right? Like it's like, oh, okay.
No, because we went away.
I had a Bucks on the weekend.
We went away.
Well, where'd you go?
Went to Palm Beach.
Yeah, right.
Went to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Lovely. The gronies are flowing, you know, chatter's alive and well.
Yep.
And things lead to things.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're fairly broken on a Sunday.
Foreplay does lead somewhere, and it usually leads to
It doesn't always.
but usually it does.
It's
a great indication of where things are going.
That's right.
Sounds like Negroni's a bit of foreplay, and then
Well, and the gronies are foreplay, and before you know it, you've had heaps of them. So, you know, I've only got myself to blame, Tom. I can acknowledge that. I put my hand up and I bear full responsibility for my actions on the weekend. I will, however, I'm not going to bear all responsibility as I tend to do, and that things were I was jumped. You know what I mean?
okay,
I was jumped.
you were jumped by a good time.
I went up there intending to have like a quiet, like a relaxed weekend, and I was jumped by a good time.
Yeah.
And although it was frightening, it was fun. And, you know.
You and I can be jumped by a good time. Like, we won't fight back if a good time tries to jump me.
No. If a good time tries to jump me, I'm like, I've got the rubberiest arms of all time.
Well, I go submissive.
I go,
I'm like,
ooh, have your way with me.
yeah, like you get a guard dog expecting it to like defend you if a good time tries to jump you, and my guard dog just presents.
I almost like walk down dark alleys looking for
a good time.
Looking for good times to jump me, you know what I
Oh
mean?
no! Whoops.
Yeah, like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've bleached up, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, you're ready. You're shaved down, bleached up.
Yeah.
Ready for a good time.
No undies on, that
No.
sort of thing.
Yeah. Whistling. I know the feeling.
I'm whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I set the alarm again for midnight on the Bucks.
You did reasonably well though.
I did do reasonably well. It was a long day, huge day.
Not great.
I did better, but I didn't do much better.
How many alarms did you set this time?
I just kept snoozing it, which is annoying.
Can I be honest with you? You need to find a different way because it's fucking annoying when your phone goes off every 4 minutes.
It wasn't every 4 minutes, but there was a few. I think eventually I just turned it off. I didn't have it going. Like I planned to be either at home or leave by midnight. I think I left 1:45.
Again, could be worse.
Could be way worse, dude.
Were things alive and well when you left?
I was the first person, which was that's you know what I mean. That's tough. I was like,
Again, that's the sort of rhetoric you roll out when you get home. I was first to leave.
I made sure that was known. Don't worry. It was like, who was there? I was like, everyone still kicking on. Daddy peeled himself away.
Because I made it the right
Because
stuff.
I made the right stuff. And you know what? It was good because I got a good sleep in because I already pre-planned. My sister was in town. She takes the girls with Steph to swimming class. Daddy sleeps in. I was much more capable.
Well, mate, I talked to you at 11 o'clock. You just got up,
Yeah.
which was shocking news.
Yeah, it was a good sleeping.
Good for you. I was up at 8:30, mate. Went for a swim.
Oh, yeah.
Made the right stuff.
Did you?
Yep.
That's why I sound like RFK right now because my voice is so fucked.
Your voice, you need, again, we talk about ensuring your voice. I feel like we need to because I don't trust it. It's weak.
Well, it's just, I'll tell you what it is.
You do have a bad case of the RFKs, though.
Yeah, I do.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Shout out to RFK.
Dave, he's not happy.
No,
You don't like the RFK shout out?
I don't even know what he sounds like. Shout out to him for going to the gym and working out in jeans and no t-shirt. I can shout him out for that. Have you
He's
seen those
huge.
videos?
He's in
jacked.
good nick.
And he
He's in
does
good-
bench
his voice
presses
isn't-
in jeans.
His voice
and no
is
shirt.
cooked.
His voice is in awful nick. In fact, I would argue hard to listen to.
Very hard to listen to. It does make it difficult when, you want to...
I just don't see how someone that sounds like that can win the presidency. I don't... How do you rally the troops?
You know what, though? It's almost something that makes sense in like a dystopian movie.
Yeah, maybe.
So where like if you assume that life pretty dystopian at the extremes, maybe having some... It's the same as like Trump. We're like, how the fuck was he going to get it?
Yeah, because he's one of the great orators all time.
Yeah, but him
that's
getting
how
it,
he won
pre
it,
him
mate.
getting it, no one thought it was possible.
When you unpack it, Tom,
Sure, but that's hindsight, right?
No,
Easy.
but I'm saying orators, you got to be elite.
Yeah, but I don't even think he's elite. He's not an elite speaker. He's just
Trump is. The way he uses words is elite.
His delivery is unmatched.
Mate, he
same.
buried fucking Hillary. You didn't expect this conversation.
Well, neither did I.
But here we are. He fucking buried her with wit.
Yeah, but sure. So that he's funny.
He's sharp tongued.
Yeah, he's sharp tongue funny, but he's by no means like
Conor McGregor, super famous wife, sharp tongue.
Obama was a great orator. He
So he was.
spoke really well. I don't think Trump really motivates.
There's different.
Right? He's just sort of like he can rally the troops by
Yeah,
just being
same
a funny
thing.
cunt. Well, yeah, no, the outcome's the same, but the process is different, right? You can be a funny person.
Yeah, but
no,
okay. Well, let's take it back a rung. Like they use their voice to great effect.
Sure, but it's like there's.
Is that enough?
Well, no, but that's what we're talking about, right? I'm saying RFK in a dystopian film makes perfect sense. Trump is funny. It's not the sound of his voice that gets people over the line.
It's what he
him being
says.
funny. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You said the sound of their voice.
No, because I think that his voice is so.
So it is the sound of his
jarring.
voice, or you mean RFK? So
Yeah.
jarring. Oh yeah, sounds like fucking Darren Lockyer on roids.
Mate.
Sounds like Darren Lockyer's current voice. If someone's then come up
Darren
and
Lockyer
smacked him in the throat with a baseball bat.
Darren Lockyer sounds like Morgan Freeman in comparison to RFK.
Yeah.
No offense. We're off track.
We are.
Now we're back on.
But now we're back on. My voice.
We're back on track.
My voice just it gives me away. Gives me up.
It gives you up. You give yourself up. You don't. You wear it. You wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah, dude, I do. I look. It's okay to wear your heart on your sleeve. Your emotions on your sleeve. Sleeve full of hearts. But it was a good weekend. I'm better.
You better for the run?
I'm better for the run, but I had a pretty good sleep Saturday night, as we said, and then last night. And, thank God I already accepted my OAM from Albanese instead of waiting for it next year. I passed out at like 7:30 before the cricket started. So many people have acknowledged that when I'm up watching the boys on the final day, like when the whips are cracking, Australia's been getting over the line. But I passed out fucking early and didn't get to see a single ball. We lost.
It felt like we were going to lose.
Sure.
I know that sounds weird, but like from the first ball last night, it felt like they were going to chase it.
It was a chaseable score.
It was chaseable. It was chaseable. Now, I have full unwavering confidence in the boys to get the fucking job done next test. Although to be good drama, 2-2 going into the final test would be probably a little bit more than these nuts could have.
Yeah, it's like I'd like it. That would be fun, and for the series to be like one of the all-time.
But
great
I can't.
series.
But how much risk do you want to invite into your life? Do you want to invite in the possibility of one of the most crushing defeats of all time?
No.
I
don't.
like the fact that the only side that's come back from 2-0 down is ours.
Yes,
I'd like to keep it.
And I'd hate it for it to be a Bazball side.
Yeah, wouldn't ya? Especially with the sort of...
They sort of abandoned Bazball to a degree in the third test.
Sort of.
As in much more than they were. The first two tests, it was like, whoa.
Well, the first test was outrageous in the extreme.
They were all close, though. I mean, you can't shit on it completely. But
I just love test series in England.
yeah.
It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
They're fucking close. The pitch... Like, the first pitch, obviously, was shithouse, but it was so close, it was great. That pitch was a doozy.
Yeah, it was
the one
great.
they rolled out here. Make sure, I hope people, from the MCG, possibly the SCG, just taking a couple of notes. I don't want to shit on our own grounds, but sometimes you have to.
Well, no.
Sometimes they're ordinary.
Sometimes you have to poo on your own grounds to make a point.
What to fertilise them, Tom?
Well, that too. But I'm talking about like making a point.
I'm talking about metaphorically fertilising.
No, but I'm talking about literally like if you need to make a point of like protest, sometimes you have to shit on your own ground, right?
Yes.
I won't stand for this.
Sometimes the only way to make a point is to shit where you eat.
Yep.
Now,
Some say it's an extreme measure, but listen, maybe life hasn't called upon you to make a point like that before.
Well, maybe
it has Freddie.
Maybe you haven't been, put in a situation where you need to stand up and literally shit where you eat and
stand up, pants down
sort of stuff. That's right. Now, a couple of missed opportunities, I think, in this test when we look back and we try to excavate.
Second innings batting.
Yeah, but that even in the first innings when they get 70 runs. What were they? Fucking 165 for.
Oh, when Stokes is in, yeah, there was.
And then they get those 70 runs.
Stokes and Moeen, where
they didn't deserve those runs.
No, they didn't. But Stokes, dude, that's the beauty of the series. It's the beauty of Stokes. I actually love Stokes. I can't even say I hate him. I hate the English, but I love Stokes. But the second innings when Smudge and Marnus just did nothing
to Moeen. Of all people,
just
wasn't a spinner's pitch, punters and dribblers. Wasn't a spinner's pitch. He goes out there, bang bang,
weak.
It's the stats around our top four in this test, like historically or awful. Historically,
as in this side has been historically awful.
In that test match we just had, our top four's stats historically awful.
Really?
Yeah. First time. I don't think it was one of the first. I think it was the first time. One of our top four hasn't got a 50 in England since 2001.
Ugh.
Off the top of the dome.
Oh, wow. Marnus close. Was he on 40-something?
40-something, maybe. That was in the first dig. Second dig was...
Nothing.
Remember?
Nothing.
Smudge got 2 in the second dig. It's just not good enough. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say, Tom.
In his 100th test.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
No.
Not good enough.
Just not good enough.
Not good enough.
It's just, it just is what it is.
Is what it is, not good enough.
We are brought to you again today by our good friends at Ned's, big supporters of all things Hello Sport and About Even, the number one betting show on planet Earth. Go check it out if you haven't. But Ned's, go on the big lift for the punter and the dribbler and for you and I, Edward. We shout out Ned's on this Monday.
We do shout out Ned's on this Monday, Tom. They're just best in class. I think that's what needs to be said.
I was concerned you were going to say delicious and nutritious again.
Well, listen, they're not edible. So it's an intangible service, the online bookie, Tom. Intangible.
Could you use an adjective more often reserved for things of taste? Can you use that adjective for a betting platform?
Well, you can have delicious wins.
That's a great point.
You could argue you could have nutritious wins. In that the win may well provide nutrition.
In the long term, we'd go buy some broccoli with your winnings.
So I would be correct. Ned's is delicious and nutritious.
It is. Now, we've got our private chat group on Ned's where you can go and share bets and have a good yip and a Yahoo and a good time. That is About Even on the Ned's app. Secret passcode is Dribbler.
Not Dribblers. Dribbler.
Not Dribblers, Dribbler. And we hope to see you there. Shout out to Ned's. Power to Ned's. Gamble responsibly. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
Scotty Boland.
No wickets. I think he probably...
Listen, I think we just go Scotty.
So Country Boy rested for Boland in this one?
As far as I'm aware,
He's not injured again, is he? Fuck.
Yeah, no, it was more just like management.
I think load management, Tom.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes you need to manage your load.
No,
so it doesn't overwhelm you.
Overflow, yeah. Sort of like back burning.
Yeah, it's like back burning. That's right.
Clearing the pipes, as it were.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Clearing the pipes. So Scotty Boland, no wickets, punters and dribblers.
He makes way for the next test.
See you later.
Mitch, what the Marsh conundrum? Swamp Junior conundrum.
I don't see it as a conundrum. I really don't.
Well, what do you see it?
I see it as, well done, Mitch Marsh. Welcome to the side, bruh.
Cam Baggy Green.
Listen, you can't... You go in under the pump, wearing deep poo-poo, deep shit, as they say, and Mitch Marsh goes, you know what, bruh? How does a run a ball 100 sound? Does that feel good?
But is it fluky as opposed to like...
Doesn't matter. The guy's obviously in good nick. He's taking wickets, Tom. He's trundling in.
What was his second innings dig? What did he get there?
He got 28.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. It's more than 5. It's more than 2. It's more than, Marnus. See, that's the thing with Marnus. He's getting starts. What do you have in the first dig? 40-something. And the second dig, 33.
Listen,
I was 21.
Yeah, 21 and 33.
Like, it's not like he's getting out early, really.
No.
Sort of getting in and then faltering, which has been frustrating. Punters and dribblers. I just think, legitimately, how do you drop Mitch Marsh? Can you drop a bloke who gets 100 under the pump like that?
Could you? And I'm just like, I'm throwing out, obviously, I'm just looking. Do you, listen, I'm just.
Get it out.
If you wanted Green to come back in and you just drop Poland for Green and have Green as a fast bowler. Not that he's been bowling that well. He's actually been getting fucking pumped.
He's been getting worked into the ground.
Yeah.
How many overs did Mitch Marsh bowl?
First time I think that Pat Cummins was going for like 5 and over as well.
Bowled 3 overs for 1 wicket, 9 runs. Second innings, he bowled 6 overs for a wicket.
Jesus, they didn't share the love much, did they? Todd Murphy got 2 overs in the second dig, punters and dribblers. Went for 6.5 and over, and they go, nah, you're out.
Not a lot of faith, is it?
Geez, that bodes well, doesn't it, for the remaining 2 tests? No Gary the Goat Lion, Todd Lee Murphy.
Yeah.
Of, we're not going to use you, mate. Fame.
Yeah, they really didn't. I wonder whether they should have. Or whether it's like, we're just trying to ease him in here. Like, we don't need him.
Like 15, 16 overs for Paddy C and Mitchell Stark, not using anyone else. Don't know.
I don't know. And then, like, David Warner is just such a rugby league liability. Even though he's batted well, and he has scored runs, it's like he's also just going to get out every fucking time, basically.
Well, as soon as Stuart Broad's thrown the pill, Tom, it's all over. It's all she wrote.
Has he got him out every time this series so far?
Except once, I think.
I think so.
He's become a rugby league liability. There's no doubt about it. There's no ifs, no buts, punters and dribblers. A rugby league liability. The question is, what do you do with a rugby league liability in a cricket setting?
Yes, it's difficult. Some saying, and I don't know where I saw this, but I did see it just before we came on. I saw it in the green room. Warner dropped.
Yep.
Head to open. Marsh to Green. Baggy back in. Marsh to where Head was batting.
Yep.
Baggy Green back in.
How does Trav go at the top?
I think he opened for his state. I think he's and didn't he fill in at opener one time?
It's just a different.
He filled in an opener, I think, one time when maybe someone got concussed or some shit. I don't know. But, I think he can open.
Right. How many runs has Green been scoring? Again, punters and dribblers, I can't remember anything from
Not many.
2 days ago.
Not many, but what he does provide is another quick option.
But he's been getting carted.
Well, I don't know if that's just Stokes fucking him up or generally whether that's been the perception and I've got
you and I don't know what we're talking about.
We don't know what we're talking about. That's
this
the problem.
This is just 2 mates sitting down trying to excavate our thoughts.
Yeah, trying to work out where we've come from.
Cam Green, last test he got 0 and 18. The test before 38 and 28. And then against India he got 6 and 25.
What about
is he scoring more runs than Warner? Who's taken or attempting to take Lacquer off nut?
Well,
probably not. Warner's had 4 and 1 this test. Last test he got 66 and 25. First test 9 and 36, and then against India he got 43 and 1.
So they're not crazy different, but one's also bowling. They're probably not going to do it to Warner either because it's David Warner. But
I don't know what they do. I tell you what they do. The country boy comes back. We know that.
Yeah,
because you can trust the country boy to do a job, and a job he will do. So you can lock that in 100%. David Warner, I reckon they'll keep him there, punters and dribblers. That's just a prediction that I'm prepared to make. And I genuinely think that they'll keep Mitch Marsh. I just think that you can't walk past 100 in the street and not acknowledge it.
No, you can't. And then didn't he, how many wickets did he get?
He got 1 in each innings. I read somewhere that he was the first player to score 100 and take 2 wickets in an Ashes test since 1926.
There you go.
Lot of good stats.
I tell you what warmed the heart, Tom. Seeing Swamp Jr. over in Bali, celebrating, one of the brave tons all time.
Celebrating juniors, third Ashes ton. He scored all his tons in the Ashes.
Because he loves it. He gets it. I tell you what was nice after the game, and I'm verbatim here, punters and dribblers, he was sort of saying, That was my phone. Just fell off again. I am a liability.
Shocking that your last phone was so fucking smashed up. You got a cover on that one yet?
I do, yeah. Oh, God, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, no, so he was saying how all he's trying to do is just make Australia love him.
Well, because there was the thing where he was like, yeah, everyone in Australia hates me.
But I feel like you can't hate him now.
Of course you can't hate him now. But no, we didn't hate him. I think
We just wanted more.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like,
I think a lot of the frustration came from our original frustration with Sean Marsh, Swamp Jr., who was so highly touted, who had like the best cover drive in world cricket, and everyone just like touched themselves.
And he kept getting picked.
Sean, he kept getting picked, and he averaged like 2. And then I think when his younger brother came along, who was promised as this like unbelievable all-rounder that took wickets with reckless abandon and would, pillage tons, and he didn't really do that.
That's all it was. Listen, as a nation, you want people to fight, people representing your nation to do well all the time. Is that reasonable? No, it's not. But that's the way it goes. But
I've got to tell you, most people, myself included, incredibly fickle.
Yes.
If he gets out for a pair next test, I'm sending him home.
No, you send him home
with 8 whippings.
Send him home
lashings,
in economy.
Lashed up
to
within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
Because it's unacceptable. But at the moment,
I love him.
I'm a huge fan of Mitchell
And I
Marsh's
never
work.
hated him either.
I didn't hate him. Hate's a strong word.
I never hated him.
But was I frustrated with Mitch? Yeah,
I was. And until you hit a ton, then that's the only way that you get into business class in my mind.
Well, listen, he's in business class for now.
Tell you but listen, Scotty Boland probably back to economy after that game.
Well, Scotty Boland, the way he's going, mate, it might be the boat for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go old school with Scotty. No offense, Scotty.
Or do we
again.
check him in?
Check him in.
Like check baggage.
Yeah, we could do that.
Put him in one of those cricket kits.
Put him in well, he'd fit in a cricket bag.
Yeah, give him just a snorkel so he's got oxygen.
That's right. Put a tank in there. Give him a jumper, probably cold down there in the cabin.
Yeah, no, it would be.
And put a heavy tag on him.
Oh, yeah, it's and probably like breakable. Like what's it called?
Fragile.
Well, he's not fragile. He's tough.
Yeah, but I mean, like
he'd be tougher than
glass.
Oh yeah, tougher than China. But he's heavy. We know that he's heavy.
Yeah.
So the heavy tag goes on. Listen, Scotty. Again, that's not personal, right? This isn't a personal vendetta
You've
against you.
You've got to set standards, though.
Standards must be set.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And the standard Tom and I set is: are you worthy of a seat on the plane? Yes or no? And at the moment, no is the answer.
No's the answer. And what we'll do, because obviously we don't want to have to go and buy a full new cricket kit, we might just put like all of the shit in a cricket bag, Scott's cricket bag, probably just in like a bin bag. We either just check that and have its own seat on the
Well, he doesn't
plane.
need it.
We just chuck it out.
He doesn't need it.
No,
we just leave it. Just leave it in the sheds. Put him in his own cricket bag and off he
Set
goes.
him off. Maybe cut some holes down the bottom if his feet need to stick out.
Well,
He might be too tall, but you could probably crunch up a little bit.
I think you can crunch up. You can definitely crunch up. Just like,
Knees to chest.
knees to chest sort of stuff. That's the way to do it. Again, Scotty, it's not personal.
No, it's not
It's just that we
personal.
need a little bit more out of you, mate. No wickets, all test, not good enough. The way that England played in terms of how many drop catches they've had in this series is great, obviously, for our nation. But if they were to start catching well, Tom, might be a bit of an issue.
Yes, but there's a part of me that's like, I was thinking about this and going...
You just can't get better at catching overnight, though, can you?
No, but I mean, maybe you can, but it's like...
You reckon overnight? I don't reckon.
I think it's a concentration thing because, like, Joe Root can catch, but he drops Mitch Marsh on 12 and then he goes to make 118. You're like, you're just not concentrating enough. You're in the slips, bro. Like, that's your job.
Or do you think this has got more to do with him being weak and English and a boy?
Look, I didn't want to have to say it after a loss because it sounds like I'm being bitter, but I'm not being bitter. I'm just speaking truth. Yeah, he's a weak English boy, and that probably has something to do with it. His weak English hands.
Weak English boys have weak English hands, and I think that's probably why he drops Marsh on fuck all before he goes on to get 118. You needed a bit of luck, as Usman says. Usman reckons you need a bit of luck in Test cricket. I'm prepared to go along with that train of thought. But you also need to be able to take catches. Catches win matches.
Next test starts the 19th. Is that next Thursday?
10 days, I think, mate.
That'd be next Wednesday, I'm pretty sure.
Next Wednesday.
I think they've got 5 days off, the boys.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be, is it Danny Danny Smith, Smudge's wife.
Yeah, that'd be a tough spot.
It'd be tough being her because Smudge obviously no runs in this test.
In his 100th test as well.
In his 100th, he'll be fucking ropeable.
Yeah.
And I can't see how anywhere they go, he'll just be with his bat the whole time.
He probably won't go anywhere.
You just stay in the nets.
Well, he's like, mate, I'll have a bit of time off after I get another 100 maybe. If I don't get another 100, I won't have any time off.
And he didn't in his 100th.
No, which that would have stung. He would have seen Ricky do it, where am I on the tree? Da, 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 da.
The fact Ricky did it, first and second innings, with hairy arms, says something.
Well, it doesn't say nothing.
Says more than nothing. Says something. At least in my mind, it does.
Those stay in your crease jumpers should hopefully be out to everyone by next test.
Yep.
Fucking oath. Thank you, everyone who got on that. There was a shitload of you. We knew they'd go well because it's fucking great top line shit, but
It's top line.
It's top line. And it just, it says what it does. It does what it says. Stay in your crease.
Stay in your crease, mate. It's as simple as that. Stay in your crease. Good to see they stayed in their crease this test.
Yes.
Learned their lesson.
Johnny Besto can't catch.
No, he can't. Johnny Besto is maybe the worst wicket keeper in the history of the game.
But they won't drop him, will they? Like they just won.
Well,
I don't. Like I'm
not particularly au fait with the makeup of English cricketers.
There's folks who's a way better keeper, and he's like waiting in the wings.
Is Johnny not good enough as just a batsman?
I think he is.
I sort of see him as a top six batter.
Yes, he's definitely not a fucking he's not a top six wicket keeper in the world. But who's the batting lineup for them? Crawley, Duckett, Ali, Root, Brook, Stokes. Like, who are they going to drop? Go down, Dave. Just scroll down a bit. Up. Oh, yeah, sweet. No, that's right. Yeah, so who would you drop? You need a spinner, so they're not going to drop Moeen. Harry Brook just got him there. Crawley and Duckett opening.
Don't know, mate. I don't know.
Bairstow, his first innings in the Ashes, he got 78,
Yeah.
and then since then hasn't got over 20.
Listen, that's for them to work out.
Yeah.
It's not my problem.
Not my
quite
problem
frankly.
either.
I think we won the last test at Old Trafford as well that we played in 2019. That's where we retained the Ashes. I see this as the venue where we win the Ashes. Punters and Dribblers, first time since 2001. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. It's a hiccup, merely a hiccup on the road to glory.
Marco Mealy.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Mark. No shout outs to the Australian cricket team. He let us down. Simple as that.
Yep.
I'm not angry about it. I am slightly disappointed. 5-0 would have been great. Now it's not possible. That's okay. But know this. If you don't win the Ashes, you can swim back.
Alex Carey apparently brought up some yarn in the commentary, like hanging shit on Carey. Sorry, Alistair Cook did it to Alex Carey. Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said
You
Carey.
got audio
but
of
yeah,
it, or is
cool.
it just...
I don't have the audio, I don't think.
What was it?
So
Because the audio just would help inform like whether this is like a joke yarn or whether he's actually hanging shit on him.
Yeah, so basically, I think it was Cook that brought it up. The story was that on Thursday, Carey went for a haircut, but the guy didn't take card and Carey didn't have cash, so he left without paying for the haircut. And then I think Steve Smith came out and posted like photos of Carey like at the start of the series and now and was like, he didn't even go get a haircut. And so I don't know where the story came from.
I saw that. I'm going to go with Smudge on this one.
Yeah, same.
Either he had a haircut or he didn't. There might have been a lookalike. I think Cook was just retelling a story that he'd heard, obviously.
Yes.
He's not making that up in the booth.
No, probably not. I mean, he's a bit of a fucking...
Yeah,
he's
apparently
not
it was a different
I imagine
Australian
his
player.
imagination isn't fucking that crack-eyed. He seems pretty like boring, dull. Although I do like his commentary. So what, did Carey deny it, or is it just like...
Well, Carey denied it, Smith denied it. Apparently what happened was it was a different player, an unnamed player, and the player did eventually pay by bank transfer.
And so wait, the guy didn't take card?
An Australian player?
Yeah.
Who's had a haircut? I wonder if it was maybe it was one of the boys running water.
Who the fuck knows? Hey, like, if you don't take card, you might not get paid immediately because most of the fucking world take, like... It's the same as if you're a place that says you don't take card or cash, you're a fuckwit.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go into a place that doesn't take card and they only take cash, they'll generally point you in the direction of an ATM.
Yeah, well, exactly. Go get cashier. Or it's like, okay, mate, I'll have to come back and give you money, right? Like,
I've done that many times,
Yeah.
getting a haircut. I'll go back, I'll be back in a sec. And you go get money out and you come back. Not the end of the world.
but I'm also like, for sure, take card because it's fucking 2023.
It's obviously a little taxation thing you'd have to think.
Well, that's not my problem, is it?
No, it's not your problem. I'm just musing about why people wouldn't take cash in this day and age. They might be like, oh, yeah, because the transaction fees are too high. Bake that into the price, bruh.
Bake it into the price.
Reeks of a bit of a,
Yeah, let's start over. Cook's going to bloody be responsible for this guy getting audited.
little bit of a... Anyway, puns and dribblers, we will win the next test, so don't worry. Okay?
Shut up, Cook.
And Cook, mate, half inclined to tell the fucking king to take that knighthood away, mate. You keep talking shit.
Yeah, talk shit, get hit.
That's it, bro.
Punters and dribblers, I believe it's maybe at 8 p.m. tonight. I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to do your own research on this one. But Monday night, our good friend, the Rugby League Guru, is selling some merch. I don't know if you've been seeing recently, but he's got these very cool maroon Guru hats.
They're fucking
I think he's just selling hats tonight.
The cord
and then,
ones.
Yeah, and then I think he's got some other shit coming out, like some jumpers and stuff that you see in his videos. Fucking good. I'm a huge fan of Guru's merch that's coming out. But the first one is tonight.
I love those cord hats. They're sick.
They're good.
He's done a great job.
6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m. tonight. What's the website?
Rugbyleagueguru.com.au.
There you go. Go and get around the roo. Get around the roo.
Get around the roo.
Yeah, get around the roo.
Stomp the roo. Stomp the roo is what they say about the Amaroo and Dubbo. Go stomp the roo.
Stomp the roo. I always like to go to the Amaroo.
Yeah.
Whereas in this context, it sounds like he wants someone to be violent to our good friend Roo. We don't want anyone to stomp Roo.
No. Well, stomp his website.
Yeah, stomp his website. Another thing, punters and dribblers, if you haven't already gone and listened, our latest chat with Toby Rudolph is up, on podcast channels and the Hello Sport YouTube. Toby Rudolph, a great man. We thank him very much for coming on. And then Tuesday night, 8 p.m, the great and powerful Millie Boyle, arguably the greatest female rugby league player in the world right now.
Well, I'd argue she is.
I'd argue she is. And it was great. It was great to have Millie on. We had a good yarn, good chuckle.
We had a great yarn with Millie.
Yeah.
She's unreal.
She is.
Big
She's
fan
really,
of her work.
Huge fan. Oh, my voice. It's just holding on. Huge fan of Millie.
Hang in there, buddy. Not much further.
Nah. Hang on.
Final
Grit,
straight sort of stuff.
But yeah, so that's out on SEN tomorrow night, 8 p.m, and then you can listen to it. If you aren't able to listen to it at 8 p.m, it'll be on the SEN app.
Correct, it will.
Search All Talk in your podcast apps, you'll find them.
Yes, if you're busy, you know what I mean? You might be out and about. You might be cooking dinner. You might be having a snooze. You might miss it.
A snooze.
Yeah. SEN app.
The NRL set to block... I think maybe the Bulldogs offered a Tino Fa'asuamaleaui because they're offering him like a 4-year, $4 million. This is all reported. 4-year, $4 million deal, I think, and also a percentage stake in a pub. And then I was like, no, you can't do that, buddy.
Geez, that's not a bad way of thinking about things. They've obviously got the Laundry Group.
The Laundry Group in there.
Couple of pub barons. I don't know how many they own, but they own a shitload of pubs.
But like, sure.
I wonder if it was the stake in the South Dubbo Tavern. They own that.
Could be. But I mean, like, I'm also like, hey, Bulldogs, stop fucking offering people like, you know, I'm sure we'd love to offer Tino like, oh yeah, sweet. Do you want a slice of the club as well?
I've got no problem with it. I've got no problem with the NRL blocking it, but I don't mind the Bulldogs trying to think outside the box a little bit, Tom.
Oh no, listen, I'm fine with them thinking outside the box, but isn't that also thinking outside the cap?
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. They're thinking outside the cap, Tom, and I think it's genius. Yeah. Although, if you're the NRL, you look at that and you go, well...
That doesn't make sense.
What's the... Okay, put it this way. What's the value of the pub?
So the pub's $50 million.
And you're getting 10%, that's $5 million. So essentially, he's
$9 million player.
Yeah, over 4 years. That's not really how it works.
No, that's thinking outside the cap.
It's thinking outside the cap. Trying to masquerade Thomas thinking outside the box.
Yes. Boxing
Which I don't
caps
have
are
a huge
different.
problem with.
Well, I respect the gameplay, but I'm like, it's also from someone who's stupid themselves. It seems like almost so overt that it's stupid that you're trying to sneak that past the NRL.
Does he need more than $1 million a year, Tino?
He doesn't at all.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I know
$1 million
the cap's,
plus.
I know the cap's gone up, so like I need to also recalibrate my perception of player wages. But like big boys getting $1 million is kind of hard to get my head around. So like Payne Haas, Fafita, Tino.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not saying that they're not worth it during these new salary cap times. But I just feel like that plus a stake in the South Dubbo Tavern's a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the great pubs, the South Dubbo Tavern. And shout out to it.
Good pokies?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's a tavern.
Taverns usually.
Taverns
dripping.
usually. That's exactly right. Was there a whisper running around on the weekend, Tom, that you sort of, I don't know if it was your whisper.
I hear
Or if it was
whispers.
did you hear the whisper? Or is that your ideal whisper?
No, I heard the whisper.
You heard it. And
Yeah.
you whispered it to me.
Yes.
What'd you hear?
I don't, and like I obviously the whispers we get are not necessarily good whispers.
Listen,
Whispers can come from anywhere.
It's probably worth noting that Tom and I don't hear a heap of whisper.
I used to hear.
You used to
shitloads.
hear all the
I used to get
whisper.
really good mail, but unfortunately, my connections to said mail have, for better or worse, they have dried up a little bit. But
Do you ever feel like getting on the blower, chasing a whisper?
Yes, sometimes, but I'm like, can I be fucked?
Well,
Because I didn't have to chase them before.
No, I know.
They used to just come to me like
just a
fucking,
text. Whispers? Question
Got
mark?
any whispers?
Got any whispers?
Got any whispers you want us to break?
And I'm not necessarily saying that we'll talk about it on the podcast. That's just me being a fat little greedy guts who likes hearing whispers.
No, exactly. Because I get real good
Because
ones.
you need to understand as well, Tom, that my whispers have dried up.
Dried
Because
up.
yours have dried up.
I know.
So I used to get great whispers because you got great whispers.
And now
I'm whisperless.
the whisper well.
And now I'm sitting here trying to drum up whispers that we may or may not have heard on the weekend that are
Well,
almost
listen,
certainly bullshit.
yeah. I've heard whispers, I think, and I don't even know if this has been announced. This isn't someone, but like Manly's apparently let like 7 players know that they're going, like tapped them on the shoulder. And the whispers also included the players they think have been tapped, but I won't go into those because I don't think that's fair to those people if it hasn't been announced. But the whisper was that, and you may have heard our CEO, Tony Mestrov, who's the uncle of a friend of the show, actually, we found out quite by accident. Remember when we were down in Adelaide?
Yes,
Do you remember now?
vaguely, but I can't. I'll.
Just put this beep in. Yeah. Unbeep from here. So you beep everything there. Thank you, Tobler. He said that I saw him quoted somewhere, and as it was relating to like Latu Finau and Luke Brooks, it was like, we need immediate results. Latu's a prospect.
Yes.
Whether you agree with that or not doesn't matter, but that's what he said, right?
Well, that's his take.
That's his take. So apparently we've moved on 7 players, and that is with the hope of sort of getting quite a thick, hefty, fucking meaty, girthy sack filled of cash war chest to go after either Tino Fa'asuamala-Awi or David Fafita, who are both off contract at the Titans, because Holbrook got the arse, and that meant that they get, like, that's a clause in their deal.
They had clause in their deal that they can fuck off. Listen.
If we were to get one of those players,
Yes.
that would drastically change my outlook on everything.
Well, I need my outlook changed because at the moment, the outlook, and I don't want to be too negative here, punters and dribblers, but my outlook is a little bit bleak. I am suffering from Mondayitis. So
Yes, that's a Mondayitis.
That is informing my outlook. But the quickest and easiest way to get rid of Mondayitis,
It's
not exercise, it's not a sauna, it's not a steam room, it's not a cold plunge. It's you buy me a big, thick present.
It's spending money on me.
Spend money on me. Wine and dine me. You
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah.
And I'd love a diamond.
I want a diamond. I want you to take me to the Gucci store and buy me what I want, Daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I
Daddy
want you-
being Tony Mestrov.
Yeah, I want Tony, Daddy, to take me and splurge on me.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
like a pretty woman married to a billionaire. I'm a dirty little,
Yeah.
And you take me shopping.
Take me shopping. I want diamond rings. I want Gucci. I want Chanel. I want new heels.
Yeah.
I want new furs.
Yeah.
I want new lingerie.
Yeah.
And I want a hotel room.
Yeah.
And you can do what you want to me. But before then, I need some cash splashed on me, Daddy.
I need you to splash cash, and if you were to splash cash on like Tino or David for feeder,
Yep. Then we're cool.
no, then we're real good.
We're good.
What would you prefer, for feeder or Tino?
Probably Tino.
I think so too, but David for feeder is an explosive little piglet. You know what I
He
mean? Like,
is an explosive little piglet. More probably because Tino, like, we just need front rowers.
we do, yeah.
You know? And that's, you and I have been banging on about that for quite some time, Tom. Our need, our thirst, our desire for big, thick fronties. And he ticks those boxes.
He does.
Now, if I can be one of the greediest little guts all time, we'll take both of them, please, Daddy.
Daddy, can we have both?
Can we have both? Why not both?
Daddy, Porque No Los Dos. Da-da-da-da. That's a taco ad, in case you don't remember.
How do you know what she says?
I don't even know if that's correct. I think it is. It's similar. It's close enough.
I wouldn't
That's
be able to.
pretty much it.
I
Like when
wouldn't
you
even
have
know when
soft
to.
shell, hard
I wouldn't even
shell.
know where
She's
to
like, why
start.
not both?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But I don't.
Porque no los dos.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah. I'm reading the subtitles when she says that and paying no attention.
See, that's just advertising getting into my brain.
Nice. Yeah, Daddy, we'll take both, please, Daddy.
Porque No Los Dos.
Now I start looking at that Brooks, at that Deese, at that Tommy Talau who's coming, who can play rugby league
Hey,
football.
listen, Tommy Talau, he played
Tommy-
all right for the Tigers.
Tommy wet us up a little bit on Thursday night. He wet us up a little bit.
Shout out to anyone who watched Sebo and us and Louis on our live stream Thursday night.
Sebo went hard in the paint.
Sebo, victim of tequila. I love someone put a fight card together, like a fight promo, and it was just Sebo versus a bottle of tequila.
We thought he might have had one of the great pre-games all time.
Yeah, we
because
were like, oh,
he
he's
had
been
one
out of the
sip
pub.
and he was loose.
We were like, he's been at the pub all afternoon. But no, it was like one sip of tequila sent him.
to the moon,
Yeah.
as it were. But shout out to Seb. You know, you did well, buddy.
Yeah, you did.
You did well.
We are probably going to have to introduce some sort of, like
Quota.
some sort of booze quota, or maybe it's just breathalyzer. If you get over a certain amount of blood alcohol, you got to
You're
fucking. We got to put a mouth on, like some tape over your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those ball gags, potentially, Tom.
Yeah, it should be a full head thing, shouldn't it? Ball gag in the mouth.
Yeah, ball gag in the mouth. One of those. Put the gimp suit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You played a shocker.
Yeah.
He very close to getting cut.
Yeah.
Sebo. Well,
He was.
we put the mics down quite a bit.
Yeah, we did. We had to. Tobler had to be really, quite vigilant. But yeah, Tommy Talau, he looked all right. He looked
Looked
good.
nice, didn't
yeah.
he? He looked nice.
Yeah.
But there is positions that need to be filled, and it's up the front.
But so everyone's going for Tino. Apparently the Roosters also like Tino, of course.
Hey.
Dogs, Tino. Roosters, Tino. Dogs also like Payne Haas.
If
Raiders like Dave Fafita. But I just think we are a better shot over the Raiders to get any player. Like if Manly and the Raiders wanted the same player, obviously money comes into it. But like, oh yeah, Dave, we'll give you $1 million to not go to Canberra. Like,
you basically got to get double what everyone else is offering if you want to go down to Canberra, and you're a stud. You know, like I understand going down there when you're young, you
get a start.
Is it green-eyed, bushy-tailed? Is that the thing?
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Thank you, Tom. And again, Monday-itis. And then potentially you turn into a throbber down there, and then you look for greener pastures. But rarely do you see big, thick presences go down there when there's other money on the table, unless the money was, biblical.
Yes.
Now, I think because of those reasons and those reasons alone, Manly's got to be a little bit of a shout, don't we?
Surely.
And hey, Roosters, like obviously you're trying to buy everyone under the fucking
Well, they're just trying to buy their way out of.
But why don't you try and win games with the decent side you got now? What about that? Why don't you try to win a single game of rugby league with that star-studded side you've already got? Yeah, you've had some injuries, but the side you roll out's still pretty handy. They still got the worst attack in the league?
Probably. Start of the season, they were basically just a team full of fucking representative players. But yeah, listen, if that would have happened with Manly, like I'd be impossibly toey.
Their second worst attack, 11 points ahead of the Tigers.
I'd be impossibly toey.
Same. Like, uncontrollably so. Like, I'm barring up.
Yeah, barring up. Full gag.
Full gag. So, what's the sort of timeline on this, Tom? Was there a timeline on the whisper?
It was no, not that I've got yet.
And was the whisper just that Manly were going for them? Was that it? Was it more developed than that?
No. Wait, it was not more developed than that at all. I'll see if I can find it again for you just to give you a bit of a quick little, or if I've lost it here. So just basically...
How long do you reckon it would take to dress that camel?
I mean, it's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot. There's a lot on that camel. Obviously, punters and dribblers
Hari,
have no idea what we're
you
looking
might
at.
be able to find the photo. Hari Nandakumar. HARINANDAKUMAR. It's a photo of a very brightly dressed camel.
And I just wonder how long it would take that camel to get dressed. You know?
That's it. It'd probably take a long time.
I think so. I think a long time too.
Fuck, I can't be bothered to go find that, guys. It's going to be...
Don't worry about it, mate.
I don't think it's necessary.
We can move on.
Punters and dribblers, big news breaking the yips, which is obviously the golfing arm of the Hello Sport universe.
Well, it's the golfing arm of the whole operation.
Tickets on this Thursday between 5 and 6 p.m. at breakingtheyips.com.au. Is it btyc.com.au or is it breaking?
If you type "breaking the yips" into Google, it comes up.
Yeah, it's btyc.
Okay, btyc.com.au. Between the hours of 5 to 6 p.m., tickets go on Thursday, 13th of July. Tickets go on sale for our next golf day, Marrickville Mania,
which will be on August 4th
Yes.
at the Marrickville Golf Club.
That's it.
We went for a bit of a hack around there the other day.
Unbelievable. And you can see the sort of the trailer. It's on our Instagram. It's also on Breaking the Yips Instagram. But these things, this is the first one we're doing since we've merged with Breaking the Yips.
Since we've docked.
And Sebo, the last one that Sebo did, sold out in 6 seconds.
So
I think there's like 100 literal spots. They go so fucking quick. 4-man Ambrose, prizes on every hole. Obviously, the main prize is glory and trophy and whatever else.
Well, glory. Glory is, you can take glory to the grave with you,
We go and have a bit. We go and enjoy ourselves afterwards,
Yes, we do. Responsibly.
A hearty, responsible.
It's actually got one of the great little clubhouses there.
Yes.
So a really good spot for a bit of a rip and a bit of a
bit of a yip and a yahoo.
That's
you get a
right.
bespoke hat that comes with it.
You do.
Very cool.
Very classy.
Yeah, they are. They're good. I really like these ones.
Same. Really, really like them.
Only get one if you've played in this tournament.
And if you don't play in it, you don't get a hat and you don't have a chance at glory and you don't have a chance of ripping and tearing. Basically, you miss out on a great deal of great things. Now, the only way to get a ticket, as we've mentioned, is btyc.com.au or just go to Breaking the Yips in Google. It will come up between 5 and 6 on Thursday.
The way Seb does this though is he doesn't give you an exact time. You basically need to just be ready between the hours of 5 and 6.
That's the way he likes to operate, and I'm not going to get in his way.
No, it seems like a very cruel way to do it. You're keeping everyone on their absolute tippy toes.
Well, I was suggesting you could just give a day and not even a window.
You want to go even crueler?
That would have been cruel, but
that would have been.
But Sebo likes to operate this way, and again, power to him. So if you basically got to be on there for a full hour.
Yeah,
they might come up first minute. You don't know. That's the beauty of it.
We got our little producer Tobler, got him all hot under the collar as well by telling him he wasn't allowed to play.
He was upset.
He was dragging.
Actually, did really upset.
I know it did.
We know. We saw your little face.
He dragging his feet around all Friday. We're like, mate, we need you to film content for us on the day. And he's like, we've already kicked him off our team, which we make no apologies for because he's fucking disgraceful. But We then said he just wasn't allowed to play at all.
Well, I was just confused, and then I was like, well, am I going to play or not? And then I was like, I've just got to accept that I'm not going to play. So then in the off chance that I do play, I'll just be happy and excited. But it took a bit of working to come to that conclusion.
We forgot to tell you we were just fucking with you, and then I was like, I should probably just send him a message.
Yeah, I was happy to keep it going, but
I just saw how sad he was.
he was so sad. He was so he was like whispering shit to me, like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
good on you, Tobler.
Good on you, Tobler.
I think the tickets as well is like you buy one ticket for a group of 4.
Okay, right, because it's 4-man Ambrose.
Because it's 4-man Ambrose, so it's not an individual ticket.
Sweet.
Oh, it's not individual tickets.
No.
Okay. You're able to tell. It's per person's $250. So if it's costing you $250, you got to buy 4 of them.
Yep.
But trust Tobler.
Trust Tobler. Origin Wednesday night.
That's right. Origin Wednesday night, punters and dribblers, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
We'll be doing another political live stream as it just happens. Coincidence? Maybe.
Well, it's coincidental, obviously, Tom. Coincidental that you and I have an itch that needs scratching in terms of talking all things state politics. We're doing that again Wednesday night. Come join us if you want some robust political conversation.
Yep.
Now, we've been through the side the other week. What I would like to point out, Tom, you know, you and I had mused about why the fuck Clint Gutherson was in the side. This isn't an
on the bench.
This isn't an anti-Clint thing, by the way.
Love Clint Gutherson.
I'm a huge fan of King Gutho. Always have been, always will be. This is not anti-Clint rhetoric. It's merely about the balancing of the bench with him on it, as well as Reece Robson. Freddie's come out and basically said he has no plan for Clint whatsoever. He's just there to cover injuries in the back line should they pop up, which feels to me like potentially, you know, a misuse of a spot. That's just me.
You've got people coming out being like, wow, I've never heard anyone be this harsh to a coach before in terms of criticism and and it's basically Joey and Brandy saying that. But you're like, okay, let's explore that or allow that to be true. I don't think I've ever heard a coach come out and say about a player they've picked, I got no plan for him.
If the year was 2017, right, Joey Johns is in commentary for Channel 9. And let's just say that the Queensland coach at the time picked someone, a fullback, on the bench when you've already got a utility and goes, I've got no plan for him. Just might use him as injury cover. They would cane that fucking decision.
Yes.
1,000% they would.
They'd Joel cane it.
They'd Joel cane the shit out of it. And it is what it is. Obviously, the opinions change with context, and Joey, being an assistant coach, is going to have that opinion. He's going to back up his boy, Freddie Fittler.
Yes.
Obviously. So I don't think you take what they say with a grain of salt. It was always an interesting decision picking Clint, and now the fact that he has no plan for him, which implies that if there isn't an injury, he will not get a minute. Great,
cool. Sorry, no, that is great. You can't offer any pointed criticism because it's can't be doing that. That's Freddie's under copping too much heat.
Yeah, as if losing 3 out of the 4 series doesn't bring a little heat. Like, what are we talking about?
No, you're being disrespectful to Bradman.
Oh, are we?
You're being disrespectful to Bradman.
Right. Okay. All we were saying was...
No, Eddie, you're being disrespectful to Bradman Fittler.
All we were saying was, where'd he come from? Isn't there some people ahead of him?
No, Eddie. Don't be disrespectful, thank you. Everything's under control.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Reeks or something.
Fucking hell, I hope we win.
It starts with a 3.
And ends with a Pete.
Yeah. Or a nil, depending what word you want to use.
Well, of course, you can choose whatever you want. I'm still excited that we win.
We can 100% win. I'm letting you know what it's reeking of.
Yeah, no, I know. I do hope that Bradman Best humps and humps well. That's my excitement. That's my hope.
I want him to hump. I want him to throw. I want him to kill, metaphorically.
That should be like the origin question. It's like hump, throw, kill. So who'd you hump? who would you throw and who would you kill?
If you had to have someone hump for you?
And so if you're Bradman Best and he's got to hump, throw or kill 3 players, or if you wanted to hump, throw or kill 3 players in the New South Wales side.
So who do I want to see him fight? I would like to see him fight Valentine Holmes.
Or what if he was to? I want to see him fight Tino. Like let's take on their biggest guy and just fuck him up.
If he was to win, because he would, obviously.
Well, that would be my hope.
Like, I wouldn't want to see him throw down with Tino and get fucking pumped.
No.
That's why I thought Valentine, just
No, but I think Bradman. I reckon Bradman could throw him.
Well, who annoys you most in the side?
Someone sent us a story about Bradman. Can I say it to you and you're going to have to beat this toddler?
Oh, so you got that dog in him. Well, fuck it. Give him Tino.
Give him Tino.
Give him Tino. Hump, I think you probably want to see him hump the captain.
Yeah.
Because
Daly?
Right from the
No,
top.
we don't. Oh, hump. Like, as in just like, not throw.
No.
So you're saying you want him to fuck up? Yeah, no, I'd hump the captain.
Hump the captain and kill Munster so he doesn't have to torment us anymore.
Yeah, in an origin sense.
This is origin sense
Yes,
here.
yes, yeah.
Don't get carried away with the metaphor. This is merely...
Yeah, kill Munster.
Yeah, kill him. He's won series by himself, mate. We need him dead.
Yeah, that's true. Kill him.
But, again, it's been a very illuminating series for one Edward Simpson. And just to see the change in myself in regards to this side has been quite confronting.
Yeah.
If I look, I can't get over how different I was as a person 6 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. If that's when was the first game?
May. And down Adelaide.
How many weeks? You tell me how many weeks.
It's about 6.
I'd like the exact amount of time. Why? Because that's just what I'm in the mood for.
Well, it's your prerogative,
precision.
Mate.
I'm in the mood for precision. It's staggering to me how different I am. I see the world completely differently.
Yep.
And I'm not happy about that.
No. You're a different man. You're a broken man.
I feel like someone. I feel like an older version of myself. Someone that lived through something horrific.
Yeah.
Like that 8 in a row. Feels a bit like that guy.
Not that guy.
Not that guy. Feels a bit like that guy, though.
This will only be their 3rd in a row, though, if they beat us, will it? 2nd in a row.
They've won 2 in a row.
Already? Oh, so they've already won it. Sorry, it's not their 3rd.
They've won 3 in 4 years.
Yeah. This won't be a 3-peat.
No, this will be the 3rd in a row. Oh, sorry, no.
They've already won.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Yeah.
This will be the 3rd game in a row.
3rd game in a row. Yeah. Well, it'll be their 4th game in a row, I think.
Yeah, it would be the 4th. Oh.
Would it be their 5th? Did they win 2nd, 3rd?
Oh, Jesus. Hang on.
they win second,
They
third?
won the first last year. They won the first.
they?
So they've won 4 in a row games to this point. No, they've won 3 in a row.
This will be their 4th.
This will be their 4th if they were to win. That's an interesting way of thinking about it. It's a scout way of thinking
Shout
about
out to the gecko in
it.
the
Shout out to the
roof.
gecko. How many weeks has it been?
Yeah, 6 weeks since, this Wednesday will be 6 weeks this coming Wednesday.
Isn't that weird? 6 weeks isn't that long, but it feels like...
Well, when you're losing Origin games.
It feels like we went to Adelaide 4 months ago.
Yep.
Maybe longer.
5, 6, 7 months ago.
7 months, 8, 9, 10 months ago.
2 years.
I tell you what gives me hope, Tom, about this Wednesday. Mr. Thumbs himself, Jake Trbojevic.
Who's retired his thumbs, you know?
He doesn't do that anymore.
He does his best. He still sometimes slips up, but he's tried to retire his thumbs.
Why?
Because he does it in every fucking photo, and then people started ripping him for it.
Oh, so he's wigged out about that. Why?
Well, I think he wants to provide people with a couple of different looks.
Wait, did you read that?
He said it on, someone sent us a thing. Shout out to Jake Duke, who does like a show on Fox.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He does a show on Fox, Face to Face. He had Jake on there, and he was like, he shouted out Hello Sport, but they were talking about his thumbs up in the photo, and Jake was like, I'm retiring the thumbs.
Don't retire the thumbs, Jake.
I think so too, dude. Like, he's got to think about career post rugby league. It's about branding. It's about personal brand, and thumbs is part of Jake's personal brand.
Thumbs Trebojevic that's your moniker.
Well, listen, it's just something, it's a way for you to potentially, you're taking a potential monetization opportunity off the table by removing your thumbs.
Think about post-career opportunities here, Jake. You could sell anything with a thumbs up.
It could just be, listen, you could actually be selling like rings on your thumb. I would advise against that, but you're just like the brand of
What about this?
Get down to Automart. Bang.
Bang. Come down to Tom's Pies.
Bang.
Bang.
Best. How good are the pies, Jake? Bang.
How's that schnitty lube taste, Jake?
Bang. Get some Big Day Rosé into you on the weekend, Jake. Bang, bang. You know? So, like, I think you should think twice before retiring it completely.
1,000%. 1,000%, Jake. Because the amount of money that you're leaving off the table, and I know you're a humble guy from humble beginnings, but that doesn't mean that you aren't deserving of some big paydays, and they're only going to come off the back of thumbs.
Not only, but it's just another revenue stream.
I'm talking about the big
thumbs-based revenue.
I'm talking
stream.
about the big bickies.
Yeah, you'll have rugby league. You might have a commentary gig.
Yeah,
and then maybe some coaching.
And then you got your thumb rev, mate. You've got to diversify. You listen to anyone that knows anything about business, and they'll all tell you got to have multiple revenue streams.
Yeah.
Multiple, as in more than one.
Yeah,
as in many. Listen, if you don't want to manage your thumbs, I'll manage them.
We're happy to manage your thumbs.
We're happy to manage your thumbs as long as
we're happy for all of your thumb work to come through us.
But you've got to unsheath them every now and then.
Yeah.
Take the cover off.
Take the covers off, mate. Come on. Get the thumbs fucking going.
Get them going, Jake. Get them going, mate. Do a bit of thumbing this Wednesday.
Mate, if you get the thumbs out on Wednesday night, it could be anything.
Could be anything. I reckon you keep Ruben quiet with a thumb in the bum.
Yep. Just give him one or two at the same time if you want.
Yeah. Get them both in there. Boos. I'm back.
Thumb back. Did you watch the Biffs?
Yep.
UFC 290.
Volkanovski
Yeah,
is such a thoroughbred.
He is genuinely one of the greatest athletes we've ever produced, and the nation doesn't really.
Not like they should.
No,
not like they should.
Not like they should.
There should be statues of him.
He is probably already the greatest featherweight of all time in the UFC.
Definitely.
Sorry,
but he is. Like, don't roll out Max Holloway. Stop rolling him
Well,
out.
so they say Max Holloway or Jose Aldo, but then, like they said, Holloway was, so you can't, like, go back and now fucking say
You
Aldo.
can't, mate. Holloway 100% was. No one was talking about Jose Aldo. They go, yeah, he was, and then Max came along.
Yeah.
Volk beat him 3 times.
Yeah. And has beaten Aldo, and has beaten Chad Mendes. He's beaten all the weapons.
The only weapon out of the featherweights he hasn't beaten is Connor. And if they were to fight, I think it smells. It's big trouble in Little China for Connor.
Yeah. Connor's long gone. But Volk, 35 now, and this was the one. I had it. Everyone was talking up, and this isn't me being.
No, but Volk was talking him up.
Yeah, but of course he was talking him up. Like, he's got to sell the fight. That's the thing. You can't not.
No, but so what I mean by that is, like, when. And his camp was after the Islam fight, they were like, mate, we're actually more worried about Rodriguez than we were about Islam.
Yes. And Volk said as much in like his post fight. I've watched a lot of Yair's fights, and obviously he is amazing. I just was like, I feel like this is going to be he's going to smoke him, because Volk's just so strong. Obviously, Yair's got crazy kicks and punches.
But Volk is impossibly strong.
He's so
he
strong.
showed that against Islam. Islam's like, oh, no one knows how strong I am. And then like he goes, oh wow, what?
Yeah, I'm actually.
This guy's actually stronger than me.
But the first 2 rounds he just mauled him, got him on the ground and just fucked him up. And then in the third round, Yair sort of looked like it was a bit more even. Maybe even Yair was winning.
He landed some all right strikes.
He landed some shots on him. But Volk's head's just made it granite.
But Volk like a little wobble maybe as he wears it, and then bang straight back into it.
And
back into it.
just cracked him. Why don't you put it on your table, buddy?
I was, and then I didn't anymore.
I'm not sure with my phone. Fucking idiot.
Why did you say it like that?
Because that's how you said it.
I don't say it like that.
Yeah, you do. But when you get defensive, that's how you say it.
You reckon I say it like that?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't necessarily know. Ella would say that, though. She'd agree. But dude, he's
landed 75% of his strikes, Volkanovski. He's incredibly accurate.
yeah.
Incredibly accurate.
7 of 12 takedown attempts. He just took him down at will.
Well, I think you were saying that. Were you saying that the other day? Like, his wrestling's elite. He doesn't often use it, and he's just going to fucking bury it.
He's so strong. So strong. And then
the last one was fucked.
Yeah, you knew
like
it was
rocks
over
him and just made him look. That's what it used to be like when I was in the backyard with like my mates' older brothers, and they'd pick you up and drop you on your neck. Like that was it.
Yeah.
That was
complete and utter control, and you had none of it.
That was a good old fashioned spear tackle.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Volkanovski, baby. Like, there should be statues of him in every capital city.
Yeah.
Every cap set.
I think it's his 6th title defense, and the record for featherweight's 8, which is
2 to go.
Jose.
2 to go.
So the next thing for him is either going to be to go and fight.
What about streaks? Where's he at in the streak game?
Well, he lost to Islam, so that's technically...
fuck, of course he did.
Even though most people think he won, not most, but a lot of people think he won. But in the featherweight, he hasn't lost.
What about
for
the
years.
featherweight streak?
Mate, he hasn't lost for years.
But I wonder where that stacks up in terms of divisional streaks.
Good question. I think it'd still be Jose. Jose didn't lose a fight for like 10 years.
He didn't fight that often, though. He fought like once a year, so it'd be like, 10 fights?
When he lost to Connor...
Yeah, I know, but he did. But like he would only fight like once a year. Is my point. Where Volk's a lot more active.
Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know what Jose's activity was like pre-Connor.
I think was Anderson Silva featherweight?
No.
Okay.
God's sake.
Well, he's got one of the longest streaks.
Did you write?
Volk's streak is, I think it says 12, but that's not updated this year, so it must be up to 13 now.
Unfortunately, I don't trust Dave to get this one right. Maybe we get Evie to look it up.
She gave a look that said, I could do that.
The streak would be good,
we don't know what the streak is because, unfortunately, it's beyond Dave's pay grade, but...
He might be able to tell us what Anderson Silva's streak is.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
And the relevance of that to the featherweight game is minimal.
Yeah.
In fact, you could argue there's no relevance.
Yeah, you could argue there's no relevance to the featherweight streak question that we have.
Okay, so
it
Volkanovski's...
It'd be 12 up until 2000. So how many times he fight this year?
Streak
Once
end
or twice?
date.
He's only fought twice this year, so it'd be 12 because it ended this year.
No, streak ended 2nd of the 7th, 2022.
He didn't lose last year, though, so that's not when it ended. He's only lost...
So why does it say streak end date?
No,
I know he didn't lose last year. I'm just trying to work out.
Maybe that's just when the last... Maybe that's the fight.
I got a more updated one here.
Okay.
Here we go. So this is including Feb 12th, 2023. So that was last fight.
Okay, so he had 12. So he's won 13 then.
Yeah.
If you take out that
the Islam
middleweight and you put in an extra... Islam's got 12. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson Silva, 16. Usman, 15. John Jones, Demetrius Johnson.
John Jones is actually, if you really were to look at it, he got disqualified for one that was ridiculous. So he's actually like fucking huge.
George St. Pierre, 13, then retired. Holloway's up until our boy Volkanovski had 13. So potentially 13 in the featherweight division is the number. So they would technically be tied. Yeah, there you go. Featherweight's 13, so he's tied it.
He's tied it with Holloway. And then there was the co-main event. Brandon Moreno lost his title to... Pantoja, who I really had no knowledge of, again, because it's that weight class.
Well, mate, I didn't have
But it was a hectic fight.
I had no knowledge of it other than that they'd fought once before in the UFC and Pantoja won.
It was a great fight.
Jesus Christ.
And then...
Punters and dribblers. Jeez, I tell you what, though. Poor old Robert Whittaker.
Bobby Knuckles.
That Duplessis is a fucking handful.
He was a handful, dude. He was a handful.
He's a big, thick boy.
Big, thick. I think most people thought that Rob was just going to fucking maul him.
Everyone thought that.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, yep, him and Adesanya fight again, guaranteed.
I am now. Obviously, I wanted Rob to win, and I still want. It's the first fight he's lost to someone who's not Izzy for 10 years. But then after Dracus Duplessis won, Izzy came into the ring from the crowd, and they sort of faced down, squared up, faced off, whatever, and it got very dark very quickly. Some news that Izzy may have been a bit boozed, which is his prerogative. But something happened pre-fight where Dracus was talking about he was going to be the representation of Africa because
He's South African.
South African. Izzy being Nigerian born, moved to New Zealand when he was like 10 or some shit. But he's still like, I'm Nigerian and New Zealand, like I represent both. But Dracus was like, I'll represent Africa. I don't think there was anything too like etch in Dracus other than like maybe it was a bit bantery. But Izzy, and again I could be wrong here, but then Izzy was like, I guess maybe has taken it from like a more racially slighted position. And then in the post-fight where they're squaring off, Izzy just started off by going, oh, we're African brothers. And I'm thinking, oh, this is nice. They're just sort of squashing it. And then he just starts calling him the N-word over and over and over. And you're like, oh, shit. He's like, do a DNA test on me. You know where you'll be able to trace it back to where I come from. You do one on you. No one knows where you're from. Or like, you're going to be. I was just like, oh,
Jesus Christ.
It's got dark.
Yeah.
It's got dark.
Yeah.
But listen, it's the fight game. People say rogue shit all the time.
Yeah, Dana didn't seem too fazed by it.
He was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I will take my direction from the CEO of the company or the president.
Well, listen, I think Dana's like, we're drumming up a bit of
Hype.
for a fight that otherwise wouldn't be particularly well hyped.
Well, I hope it's in Sydney. Because it was meant to be, right? Well, at least that was the talk.
The talk was that the winner of this fight would fight Adesanya at Sydney 293 in September. The problem is, punters and dribblers, only 9 weeks. Now, I don't think Duplessis didn't take much punishment.
He didn't. It was a round 2 knockout. He could
round
do
2
it.
knockout, so he can definitely do it. It's just, it was a little unfortunate that, so obviously Volk can't do it. He already said he wouldn't be able to, but now he's got to get shoulder surgery?
Some surgery. He didn't really tell us what
Arm surgery?
Arm surgery, I thought it was.
something.
But he'd already ruled himself out before that, so it just. And then there's a lot. And then there was a lot of Aussies fighting on this card. I don't know if this card was already locked in before they'd announced the Sydney card, but it just feels like there's a bit of an opportunity, a bit of a scheduling.
But listen, if you think about it, you'll still have hopefully Izzy and Dracus potentially. Then there's Ty.
Ty's locked in.
Then there is Della Maddalena, who didn't fight on this card.
Surely he fights.
100% he'll fight. Kai Kara France, he hasn't fought.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's just disappointing that we won't have Volk and Whitaker. Because Whitaker obviously loses.
Yes.
And then
yes.
Volk
Robert, I mean, shit, who knows? Robert might turn it around in 9 weeks. He was stopped, but like
he
it
was
wasn't.
stopped. What's the ruling on that? I'm sure there's one.
Yeah, but I mean, like how long ago
you can't train.
How long ago did Izzy knock out Pereira? Because Pereira's about to fight again.
Find out what the mandatory stand down period is, Dave, because that you can't train and shit. That's as well a bit of a problem.
But Pereira got knocked fucking flatline out. I don't know if there's degrees similar to the NRL, right, where it's like
not sure. Yeah, because getting knocked out cold, not necessarily, which is what Pereira would.
Yeah, and he's already back fight. He's gone up a weight.
Whereas Whitaker's like balled up.
Yeah, and it was sort of stopped.
Yeah. Don't know.
So he might be like, I want to get back in there.
I'd like him to, Tom. I'd really, really like him to.
I don't know who he'd fight necessarily.
But Duplessis, I think you can almost just lock that in now. Duplessis Adesanya in Sydney.
Well, hopefully. That'd be nice because we'll be there.
Well, because it's like it has to be. I think part of the deal is that it's like a big headline fight. And Izzy, given it's his neighbourhood, his part of the world. Australasia, mate.
Mate, it's his. Dan Hooker broke his fucking arm in the first round and then, or maybe the second round, but like he was losing the first round, breaks his hand in the second round and then wins the whole fucking fight. He's
tough as nails.
Savage, dude.
Tough as nails?
Absolute savage.
Bo Nickel. Great
First
name.
round win.
First round for Bo.
Cancelled.
But good.
They must have brought someone in last minute.
Yeah,
oh,
they did. Val Woodburn. They Mate, good biffs yesterday. Good biffs.
Yeah.
But
Serious
Volkanovski, like, again, I'll say it once more.
national hero.
Absolute national hero. People should be... I hope today that there was a lot more water cooler
He was
chat
the
than
back
there has
page.
been in the
He was the
past.
back page of the Men's Women's Weekly, which was good, but I haven't seen.
The greatest fighter on the planet
He's
is
the greatest
Australian.
fighter. Well, but he's also like he's
The greatest fighter on the planet right now is Australian.
who's the greatest Australian fighter of all time?
Him.
That's what I mean. Like it's kind of in terms of boxing, like
He is.
Jeff Fennick maybe.
Anthony Mundine.
I don't know. If,
I think Jeff had more world titles.
I don't know that, and I think they were more legitimate ones. I don't think Chalk was, no disrespect, but I feel like it might be
The Marrickville Mauler.
potentially. I can't think of anyone else.
Well, it's Volk now, I think.
6
Is
title
my-
defenses.
It's got to be Volk.
In a fucking stacked UFC division, beating greats. He's in. They're all calling him the pound for pound number 1 in the world as well, not just like.
Well, he is the pound for pound.
I
number
know,
one.
but he hasn't been named it because John.
Yes, he has.
No, John Jones took it back when he won.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh, did he?
yeah, straight away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because he retained it after the Islam fight. but
Which
then
was
did
already
he-
a flex, and then
but
John
did
Jones
he
won the
lose it?
title, and then Jones got it. I'm pretty sure. Can you get the
Can you
UFC
check
pound
that
for
up?
pound rankings, Dave?
That's such bullshit. Obviously, I'm heavily biased. But it was impressive what fucking John Jones
It was
did.
impressive what John Jones did. I think though that's kind of like there was also a thing of John. It's like, but John's the heavyweight champion, so but it's like yeah, but pound for pound,
No,
like
you're
how does that
right.
even make sense?
You're right.
Jones, Volk's still ahead of Islam, sick though, or maybe that's just happened.
Well, no, because he was ahead. Islam hasn't fought since then. So Volk, even though he lost to Islam, was kept at pound for pound champ.
Yeah,
I didn't realize John had come over the top of him. That's annoying.
yeah.
I've also been telling Porky Pies if that's the case.
Well, you have been telling porcupines, but they're not porcupines because you didn't know that.
No, great point. So I'm not telling lies.
No, you're not. You just
It's not a lie if you believe it.
You're just uninformed.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
No.
Shout out to George Costanza.
But yeah, he's an absolute savage. He's an absolute rugby league savage. It's the only thing that I really wanted to end on, Eddie, because I feel like we're getting there.
Slowly. But surely.
Obviously, as I was up ripping and tearing on Saturday night, and I said it last week when we got those jerseys, I watched the Wallabies play.
You did.
Well, I watched part of it. I didn't watch much of it. I didn't know this. And again, maybe they failed to mention this when they failed to mention to anyone that the game was even on, that we were playing South Africa's B side.
Right.
So their A side was in New Zealand getting ready to play the fucking All Blacks, I guess. And they were like, well,
Are
what
you
if-
serious?
and we got fucked in the ass.
Are you serious? That was their B side, and their A side's in New Zealand preparing to win the rugby championship potentially. Oh my God.
And we got beaten 40-something to 12.
43.
42-12, I think.
43.
43-12. Jesus Christ. That's grim.
Yeah, dude. Like,
That's grim.
yeah, we are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I saw that and I go, yeah, South Africa, first game under Eddie Jones, away. Like, I get it. You know, I was
2 penalty tries is the most rugby union thing to happen.
like, I certainly wasn't expecting there to be, you know, a victory coming.
I get hoodwinked by pre-season.
But I didn't know it was their B side.
That's
Who told you that?
Mate, they were talking about it during the season. Some of the boys who I was with on the weekend who are more rugby swinging,
rugby
you know what
union,
I mean?
Yep.
They were like, this is also at their B side. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I thought it was bullshit. And then Eddie even got asked about it. He got
So the whole side was their B side.
essentially, I believe that was the thing. So like, and Eddie even got asked about it in the post-match presser. I was going to try to find, and he
Didn't he
teased
blow up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently 12 of their big guns.
Little
I
bit
don't
of
know
a
if big
Bradman
guns mean
breast,
starting or
showing
not.
respect sort of situation.
So the guy goes, the guy said, so Eddie, during the week you said you were a bit disappointed that you were going to be playing the South African B side. He goes, are you relieved now, given the scoreline or something?
Oh my God. Was that a South African journo? That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it is.
How many, what were the numbers, Dave? Sorry?
Yeah, there was 12 of their big guns, according to this article. I don't know if that means starters or just general top
mean, big
22.
Doesn't
Big
matter.
guns.
Big
guns
gun's
are
a
big
big gun,
guns.
mate.
Yeah.
12. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's just like, I mean, we're just, it's like,
But listen, what did we expect?
Well, every year I feel like they talk it up. And it's like Eddie Jones.
No,
for
but
all
like
of his,
the writing's
for all
on
of
the
his
wall.
blustery, I'm back, watch me fucking dominate, Australian rugby, yeah, we're back. It's like, no, okay, we're fucking not, are we? We suck.
42-12 B-side. Listen,
Disappointing as well.
all I'll say is, it's one game, but work to do.
Yeah, bit of work to do.
Plenty of work to do. Jesus Christ, they just dominated us in attack. Basically double everything.
You right,
Double
Evie?
carries, double meters,
15 line breaks they made.
double clean breaks and more, double the passes basically.
Fuck, 3 penalties to 13.
Conceded?
We conceded
Yeah.
13 penalties, so it's poor discipline. 2 yellow
Yeah,
cards.
well,
Tom.
I'm sure the referee had a lot to do. I mean, there's a bit of rugby in that.
In a little bit of positives, and we look for positives on this show, punters and dribblers. Scrums lost none. We won 7
Also,
scrums.
100% line-out success
We
rate.
won 12 lineouts, so they're positives.
Yep,
We
really
didn't
good.
steal any nut, and we didn't win any scrums against our feed, but that's okay.
No, we didn't.
That's okay.
Let's see.
We won 3 more.
94% ruck success rate's pretty good.
Lost 2 rucks, but we won 37 of them. They won
97
97
rucks.
rucks.
We run 37. So they must have had a bit more ball, you would think.
Oh, you'd think they probably had a little bit more ball, Tom.
We missed 2 penalty goal opportunities. That's good.
One of them was like, did you see the one that was like 60 metres out and on the side? And it was a bit before half time, I think. And we were down by like a try. And then they were like, oh, we'll go for a penalty 60 out. And then he missed it.
Altitude.
Yeah.
Have a crack.
Turnovers. We got a couple of turnovers. That's nice. Missed tackles, 29. We beat him in missed tackles.
Look at the tackles, 139 to 58.
Where's that? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They only made 58 tackles, the South Africans. That's like less than Ruben Cotter makes in a single Origin game.
That's unbelievable. That shows how much the Pills live to me.
Well, that also just shows how little ball.
But all up, I suppose the tackles
There's
are
less
probably-
tackles in rugby union generally, but like we just had so little.
694 to 369 metres, 156 to our 64 carries. Just absolutely dominated across the park. Again, we won scrums and lineouts, so, that's exciting.
And we made more tackles.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. We
Made
missed
more
a
but
couple-
missed more.
Yeah, but we missed more because we made more.
It's a great point.
If you go on at a percentage, they missed about 40% of their tackles. We missed well below that.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
So
You gotta
that's
find the
positive.
silver lining.
Well,
there.
the silver lining's been found. Who do we have next week? We got on to Argentina, I suppose. Geez, that'll be a bloody... That's against Checker as well, is it not?
I don't know if Czech is still doing the damn thing over there.
Yep. Saturday, July 15th.
What time? 7. Oh, okay.
7:45 p.m.
Are we back in
It's
Oz?
Australia.
Combank.
Combank, nice.
Yeah, Checker's still the coach.
Okay. This is going to be... That's interesting. It'll be interesting if we lose as well. I can promise you that right now.
Yep. Jarko Paper.
Anyway,
Onwards and upwards.
onwards and upwards.
Oh my god!
Listen,
Okay, I was trying to find this stat and I've just found it. The possession in that match was 73 to 27 to the Springboks.
There you go.
there you go.
Tell
Well,
us-
listen, we're good at
68,
reading the numbers and deducing.
Mate, the only way's up. Think about it that way.
Well, hopefully,
Unless
I
we
don't
get
know.
pounded by 60 by
we get
Argentina,
fucked up by
then you could
Argentina.
argue it's down.
Yeah.
By the by, shout out the punter, shout out the dribbler.
Shout out to everyone. Shout out to us, and that's about it.
Bye bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?